I'm glad I noticed it now.
Before I did the whole thing?
Right.
Okay. Hey guys, this is Jamie from Red Raccoon Games, and today I'm going to do a quick review of Periodic. Periodic is a game that came out this summer from Genius Games, and Genius Games has become one of our favorite publishers in the store. Every game that they make is based on real scientific principles, and they reinforce a lot of basic science learning for kids and for adults. And Periodic is one of their biggest and most beautiful games that they've done to date. As you can see, the game board that we're playing on is actually the periodic table of elements. It looks like there's a lot of stuff going on here, but a lot of the things that are on the board right now are simply visual cues. The basics of what you're trying to do in the course of the game is we have cards across the top that represent different types of materials that are found in everyday life. So steel and what did I grab here? Britannia metal. Okay, I don't even know what Britannia metal actually is. But it's obviously made up out of copper, tin, and antimony. So what we're going to be doing is all the players are racing around the board, and we're trying to move our little beaker pieces here onto a square where we've got one of these elements represented. The elements, the visual markers on these are really fun too. At the bottom of each card you can see there's either 1 dot, 2, 3, or 4 dots as like a molecule cluster, and the pieces from the game board represent the exact same thing. So if you're trying to remember where antimony is, you don't have to look super hard because you can just look for the blue dots on the board. So there's our copy, there's our antimony over here. So we're moving around the board. If we get onto one of the pieces, we're going to grab one of our little token squares here, and then we're going to put it on, what did I move on there? Onto titanium, and so I'll set it right there. Once you fill up all of the spaces on that card, you get to take the card. There are victory points at the bottom. That's the basic way to score in the entire game. And so we're just racing around the board. The way that we move around the board is pretty interesting though, because it's actually using the various spins of an atom. So if you look at the bottom of the board, you see that there's ionization energy, increased atomic radii, increased atomic mass. And each one of these, when you select one of these as your action, you're going to get to move 5 spaces. So increased ionization energy is going to let me move 5 spaces either to the right or up, right? Because that's the direction of the arrow. I can move to the right or I can move up. If I choose increase atomic mass, now I can move to the right and down. The one fun part of the game that works well with this fact that this is a periodic table of elements is increase or decrease atomic number. If I choose this as my movement, I get to still move 5 spaces, but if I'm the blue character here and I move across 1, 2, 3, the next number after 19, if I'm going down, is 18, so I jump all the way to the other side of the board. So that one's a fun way to wrap around through the board to get to this cluster of elements that's over here. So the main way of scoring is using the board like that. The secondary way that you can score points in the game that makes things interesting is if it revolves these cards around the outside edge of the board. These cards represent the different types of the different families of elements on the periodic table. So you got alkali metals, non-metals, post-transition metals. If you end your turn, the final movement you take on the next one, so if I'm the blue character, I'm on alkali metals right now. If I end my turn in a non-metal square, I get to move my cool little magnifying, what is this, John?
Microscope.
Microscope. I get to move my cool little microscope character to the next level here, go to non-metals, and then I get to move 1 marker up on this secondary point track across the bottom. So we've got the main scoring method, we've got a secondary method. That's in your basic game and you're done. That's all the rules that you really need. If you're playing a more advanced game, we have hidden agenda cards that we can introduce to the game, and this is an entire deck of cards that gives you a third hidden way to score. That's obviously you keep it private to the end of the game, and then you reveal on everybody and score any additional points. Other than that, the game, like I said, it looks complicated, but it's really very simple to play. It's absolutely beautiful. This is a great game for 2 players, or you can go all the way up to 5 players on this game as well, and it plays equally well. The more people that you have in the game, obviously it does take a little bit longer, but it's not really bad as long as people are paying attention to what they're doing. One of the other things I really love about Genius Games when they make games is the actual material that the cards are made out of is nice thick stock, right? I hate when I open up a board game and the pieces feel super flimsy. These are nice coated card stock. Everything about the game feels premium. Also in the box, every one of their games includes a separate rule book that is just literally the science behind the game. So if you're a teacher or if you're a parent or even if you're just kind of nerdy and you want to know for yourself, the books always include full details of the science behind the game and why did they pick the different families of metals? Why how is the chart laid out? Why was it structured in such a way? So in addition to playing a game, you accidentally learn things along the way. So we really enjoy playing this game at Red Raccoon Games. It's big, it's beautiful, it's bold, and it's an amazing game to play for anybody's tabletop board game night. Thank you guys, and we'll see you later.